All right, day two. What's the takeaways from day two?
Another competitive practice. Another defensive effort by a lot of guys. It's a good morning, and again, we got to continue it, be consistent with the effort and focus that we have, but a good morning.
With the bodies that you've brought in this year, are you noticing a rougher camp under the rim, or?
Love it. It's physical, but again, what we got to do is continue to have intellect. Be smart with it. Not, last year we were in the top 8 of getting teams under 5 seconds in the shot clock. But also then we dropped to number 28 at finishing up. So we got to finish the play with either the rebound or not fouling those situations and taking away the cheap fouls. And that's been our focus in those situations in practice, and we're doing a better job at it. We're being big, being vertical when the guy's attacking in the paint instead of reaching and grabbing and bailing them out.
Now, in the past, we've seen other NBA players gain weight, but throughout the season have a difficult time keeping it on. We see Rudy and Jonas. So what's it going to be like? Because it's hard to lift during the season when you're on that grind. So how hard is it going to be to keep that size in those guys, knowing that you need that toughness?
That's a good question, and I was just talking to Rudy's guy. Rudy has done a great job with his body. Now he's got to get used to the NBA speed with that extra weight. And, it's going to help him. Believe me, once he gets in condition with it, and once he gets used to moving with it, it's going to be tremendous for he and JV also. But mainly Rudy, because he's added that weight, it makes him a little okay. That extra step of speed is not there like it used to be when he was 10 pounds lighter. So it'll take a little time to get used to it, but I have no question, no problem with it whatsoever. Again, in the long run, it's going to help him.
What's tougher in your experience? Going to go with Valanciunas? Because there were reports coming out of Lithuania during Euro basketball that his coach thought he was too big.
I saw that. And again, his coach hadn't coached against Hibbert and Brooks Lopez, and I don't think they have those guys in the league. Again, we've talked to JV about that, and and his coach is a great coach, does a great job. But his gradual increase in his weight is going to be good for him. Now, again, he doesn't need to come in and add 20 pounds right away. Just him getting older, he's going to naturally, you can ask Michael Grain, just naturally get bigger, as far as his size. So just time, and we're not trying to rush him to get bigger, just to maintain his strength. I think he's on a good path right now as far as his weight and strength is concerned, because he's got some monsters to go against in the paint. And if you don't have some girth and still not lose his athleticism, you're in for trouble. And that's, he's learning to play with that extra weight right now, so we're not concerned about it.
What's tougher? The psychological aspect of it, because I imagine for a young kid going up against guys like Hibbert underneath the paint. I mean, he's even said. You said it a couple of days ago. He took a whooping. So how does he become from the man child? How does he become a man psychologically this year?
It's father time. It's something you know it's there. You just got to learn it. He's got to go through it. And, you want to teach, you can teach, and you can drill it all you want to, but until he gets out there and gets games under his belt and go against those guys time after time, over and over again, that's the only way he's going to learn how to do it. And that's been my experience through 30-plus years of coaching, just watching guys go through it. You can talk them to it. They can play in the Euro League and different leagues, but until they go night in and night out against NBA centers, that's the only way you're going to learn.
There's been a lot of talk about, getting Rudy to operate from the post and perhaps be the de facto 4, basically. And usually when you use those lineups last year, it was Amir at the 5. Are you closer to a place where Jonas can fill that role in the 5 more regularly?
Eric, we feel very comfortable, and it hasn't got to that yet, but we feel very comfortable with Amir, JV, or we got 4, Tyler and Aaron Gray's had 2 really good days of practice also. So we got 4 bona fide guys that can play that center position with Rudy at the 4, or Landry Fields. We did that a little bit. Don't like that as far as rebounding is concerned as much, but either one of those 4 guys. Mainly, it's probably going to be either Amir or JV in that situation, and probably Tyler at the natural
those
4.
lineups, it sort of requires an extra bit of communication because it's not where people are naturally comfortable, right?
Well, in some of our offensive sets, they do some things that are natural. I mean, spacing is the key thing.
I'm thinking more defensively.
Right, and defensively, the key with me is rebounding.
Yeah.
I mean, with that smaller lineup, I think more than anything else, because all the other responsibilities are going to be the same. But when that shot goes up, you got to be. That's where that extra weight's got to come into play to go get some out of his area rebounds.
How important do those versatile 3-4s become with there only being the 2 true centers on the roster?
How versatile 2s and 3s, it's important. I mean, and that's one good thing about it. We have some very flexible 2s, 3s, and 4s. Again, I'd much rather stay big as much as possible as long as the other team is staying big, because usually if you go small, it usually means you're behind and you're trying to catch up with offense. I'd rather stay big where we can be physical in the paint, play defense, and have a defensive mentality. And we can do that a little longer now with Tyler or Amir. I think Amir and JV, and again, it goes back to JV's progress, how long he can hang in there and stay in there without getting in foul trouble, and hold his own against some of the veteran centers in the league.
How much has it helped having Jamal around for some of those bigs that you mentioned?
Huge. He beats the crap out of JV every day and gets him used to the contact. We have some 2-on-1 drills that he still gets in there and cracks people, and they know it's not like a little coach in there with pads on. It's a real 7-foot guy that's going to knock you on your butt if you don't come in the right way. And Jamal does a great job with that. He's still in shape, and he's done a heck of a job of being a vocal and physical mentor to a lot of our inside players.
You mentioned Austin Day a couple times yesterday. Do you look at him more as a 3, 4?
More of a 4, stretch 4. Again, I didn't add him and should have added him to that list because he can stretch the floor and really shoot the ball. He's got to give it to us on the rebounding side of it. The defensive side uses length, but Austin Day and the other one is Steve Novak. I mean, there's not a better shooter in the league than Steve when he slides over to the 4. So we got a lot of options, and you still can leave Rudy at the 3. So those 2 guys are interchangeable 3-4. So, those are some good options to have.
Is there, and going back to sort of the 3 spot, is there sort of an option here for Chris Wright at this point, or is he?
It's too early. I mean, it's one day. I mean, we just one day, Michael, and I'm not going to – he's had – I mean, energy-wise, he's had a great day of energy. Julian Stone's played well, so it's too soon, to say who is ahead of who. But like I said last night, all 3 guys, Carlos and Julian and Chris, bring something to the table. Carlos is a big-time scorer, and he's shown that in the scrimmages and all the drill work, and Julian is a very versatile 1, 2, 3, maybe small forward defender also.
Have you put any thought into whether you're going 14 or 15?
Not yet. No. Those 3 guys will determine that, and Messiah and I will talk about that, but hadn't really thought about that a lot.
Last question.
Is there anyone through a day and a half that's surprised you so far?
Not really. No. I tell you what, Kyle has had really great day. 2 days. Last night and today. This morning. He's really set the tone. I think his team only lost like 2 games in the scrimmages, and he's really done an excellent job of running the show and being the leader of his team, whatever team he's on. So he sticks out. But, everybody else, the effort, there's nobody that I question the effort in their heart. Very intense practices. I'm not getting overly excited. If we come in and have a bad day, I'm not going to get underly excited because, it's only one day. But I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistic is what I'm going right now. But, again, we got to continue. The NBA is a long season, and that's what we got to continue this focus and effort with from going forward.